Hi everyone. It's been a really long time since I've seen anyone. This product I want to talk about today was just launched by Alpha Parf, which is the hair color line that we've all been using now for many years. This is to address COVID and the need for us to be able to, do our hair at home and touch some stuff up on our own. I know that my salon has been closed since November. Many salons across the country are struggling right now as well. And then with COVID numbers going up and the risk just being very high, this is the answer to not being able to come into the salon. There's some differences between this and the type of box dye that you could purchase at your local grocery store. And we can talk about the science of that, but what I wanted to do today was just kind of show you how I would touch up my hair at home. I have never done my own hair before, so I'm a little bit nervous. I am not going to be using color. As most of you know, I have been trying to grow color and highlights out of my hair for a very long time, except for these fun fashion things my sister did for me. So I'm not going to use color, but I am going to mix up using, the stuff that would come in this kit. There is, let's see, I haven't opened this. So there's instructions in here. If this is not yet available in the color that you and I normally use, it's going to look a little bit different, but the process is going to be the same. So we're kind of going to cover technique, and we're going to do for roots and gray coverage. So, a couple of things. Hair color can get everywhere. I had a button-down collared shirt on that I realized was just a terrible idea because we're going to get on the collar. And I don't know, so maybe wear something that either you hate or don't wear anything at all, or something with a really low neckline, both in the front and in the back. Measuring your hair color is the most important part of this entire process. So again, if the color that you've gotten doesn't look like this, if it's the kind of thing where it's, just squeeze it out and mix them together well with a brush, then, let's do that. So this is neat. It comes with a color tube. It comes with developer. And then you've also they threw in some shampoo and conditioner sample sizes for you. So you can shampoo and condition with this after. There's a pair of gloves, and I will provide you with a color brush. When you don't wear gloves, this is what happens. So let's see. Any non-metallic bowl will do. I prefer measuring using something like a food scale. And I'm going to use the cup that they provided. Again, if it's the kind of thing where you're just mixing stuff together, then mix it together, mix it well. It's been measured for you. This I'm just curious about, to see what it's going to do. So the mixing ratio is going to be 1 to 1.5. This is exactly how I would do this if we were measuring and we don't have a scale. I'm just using the scale because I'm a hairstylist and we are perfectionists. My standard amount of product for a gray coverage single process is 30 grams of color, which looks to be about an ounce. It looks like nothing in this little cup. Okay, so I did an ounce in the cup. I'm gonna use a popsicle stick or whatever to scrape it into this bowl. And then it's going to be 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces. That is this color line. If you've gotten something else, follow those directions. Again, I hope you get your color from me because it's just a better product than what you'd get at the store. And if not, then, you know, we're doing technique. So that's 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces. 1 ounce of color to 1.5 ounces of developer. The color is in the tube, and the developer is in this little bottle here. So I mixed 30 grams for just a basic root touch-up. And I'm going to use this brush to mix it together. Again, I'm not coloring my hair right now. This just doesn't have any pigment. It's not going to change my hair color at all. So I'm going to show you how I would apply it. We're going to learn a little bit together because, again, I've never done this before. Okay, so that's mixed. Gloves are important. We're just gonna see how this goes. I almost sort of wish I was doing color so that I see how well I did, but you know, it's hard to grow it out. So if you have short hair and you're not going to pull it up into a ponytail, then we're just going to start around the hairline. And I am just gathering a small amount of product on my brush, and I'm going to just go in and get everything that I can see when my hair is in a ponytail. I notice when you guys have done your color at home, and I see you that this area right here gets missed a lot. And you can't see it, but when you have your hair in a ponytail, other people can, and you know, I certainly can, and it's pretty easily avoidable. So just pay attention to right here behind your ear. Make sure you saturate that really well. And I'm going by feel back here. I have no idea what's going on. It feels dry. It's better. And again, I'm just gonna squish this. Shout out to Anna for helping me film this. She's got a YouTube channel explaining her van life process. So if you are interested in any of that, it's pretty fucking cool, you guys. Okay, I did everything around my hairline. My hair naturally parts on my left here. If your hair parts in the middle or it parts on the right hand side, start where your hair naturally parts. Don't worry so much about this area in the back because everything on top is going to kind of fall over that. We're just doing a base color for gray coverage, and we're just trying to hang in there until the salon is open again. So anything that you miss, I will get. This does not have to be perfect. But because you're doing it at home, you know, you want to see results and just focus on what you can see and what other people can see. So this is my natural part, and I'm going to start here. And we're just going to mush this in. You can see that my part is not straight. I'm not going to be super anal about that. Then I'm going to go from the back end of the part to just behind my ear. And that's just easier for me. I used the tail end of this color brush for all of my parting. And what that does is just makes this process a little bit faster. So I have a quarter of my hair here. I already got this. I'm going to part just right above where the color is thickest. You can see some color on the other side of this part line, and that's kind of the thickness that you're going for. So up and down, again, right here, part that. You can see some residual color through here. And section by section, like so. That's a little wide. I can't see any color as I come through here. So I'm going to pick up just maybe a third of that. Regather my mess that's going on here. And now I can see just a little bit of color. So I know that I'm getting everything covered really, really well. It's going to be too thick. See the color. Yep. You kind of not see the color. There it is. I think it's easier to drop sections down. At least this is how I work typically in the salon behind the chair. I start from bottom to top so that I don't have to disrupt the color that I've already put on there. And then also as I'm dropping this section and starting here at the part again, I'm pushing this section of hair into the section underneath it, which also just kind of helps with optimum coverage. I think what I'm going to try to do on the other side, though, is go from top to bottom, because I've never done this on myself before. It's actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be, so that's great news. This is my last little section, and it's a weird one, so I know there's color in there. So yeah, let's start again at the back of the part and go to just behind the ear on the other side of the head. I'm going to hang on to this. And I'm going to outline this section again. I'm noticing that my cowlick back here was standing up. I'd like to kind of be able to see where this part is at least, because again, it's right around my face. And I've dropped color on myself. So you might want to get a towel, or again, do this in your least favorite overalls. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top here. And I'm going to straighten out that part line. Either side of your natural part is going to be pretty important because it's not going to part the same way every day. And you're not going to want to see any missed spots in here. So if you need to take smaller sections, an inch on either side of where your natural part is, definitely do that. Just pay attention to, again, what you're going to see and what people are going to see until we get back into the salon and back to normal. While I do this, and some of this we're probably going to fast forward through. I want to talk briefly about I'm going to update my COVID policies for when I do reopen. Most of you know right now that I'm holding out for Santa Fe County COVID numbers to go back into the yellow category. That means that the risk of infection is about back to where it was in October, which is about the last time I saw many of you, and that seemed pretty reasonable. This spike in New Mexico and in Santa Fe is worse than it was in the beginning of the year when we had our first government shutdown. And my literal worst nightmare is going to be, would be, if I had to call any of you amazing people and say, I might have given you COVID. I would hate that. I'm not sure I could live with the guilt if I was your exposure contact and for some reason you couldn't either get care in our overflowing healthcare system, or if you couldn't survive COVID. That would kill me inside. So I am just trying to avoid that sort of situation. How much do I have left here? I might need to mix more color. I have a lot of color, a lot of hair. I'm going to stop here because I think you get the gist of it. I think what I'm going to try to do is the back of my head, because that is going to be the trickiest part. Don't do what I just did. Try not to rake your fingers through your hair. I'm just trying to get it out of the way. And because I'm not using color, I'm feeling a little bit, it's a little less dangerous. That is not going to stay. I'm going to find myself a hair tie. So this is how it's recommended in the instructions that come with your color box. I also recommend doing this. Start up here where you can kind of, again, I can't see it. You probably can't see it either. This is the back of your head. This is the part that's going to be a little tricky. I'm just going to draw a straight-ish line down the back of my head. You may have a mirror at home to make this a little bit easier. I can feel that there, so I'm going to just assume that is where my part is. I can kind of feel it if I pull my hair out. I can feel the brush kind of bouncing off that. I don't know, Anna, am I on the part at all?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go bottom to top. So I got this when I have my hair up. I'm gonna start tiny sections down here. These are not going to be pretty. Remember, we got everything that you can see if your hair is in a ponytail. I'm left-handed, so I can sort of see that. Not really. I can feel it, though. Let me see if I can. No, it's going to be easier for me to just... Like, I can see in the front here, sort of, I'm just going to guess at like 1/2 inch sections. So I can see that this is where my last section was. I'm just going to tap a little bit higher. If you grab all of your hair that's on the top of this brush handle, it should be a straight line. Or straight-ish line. And I think that is how I'm going to do it. I'm gonna stick my brush in, grab all the hair that's on top, and that is gonna be my section. I can see this in the mirror, and I don't have a mirror set up behind me to see the back of my head, so we're just doing our best here. That's all we can do. So there's the brush, there's my sectioning. So once COVID numbers in Santa Fe go back to yellow and I do reopen the salon for you guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone. I'm gonna ask and then gently require that everyone wear N95 masks in the salon. And that is because it protects you a little bit better than the cloth masks do. Remember that I'm going to have to be standing above you and behind you and very close to you in order to get hair services done properly. And with the new, more contagious strains of COVID, I just think that, you know, it's worth it to spend a little bit of extra money. We all know how much I hate single-use disposable items. So what I've done is I've purchased a bunch of N95 masks, which seems and feels pretty irresponsible because I think that we're still having a shortage for people who work in healthcare. So I have them. They're $3 each. I'm going to put them in a clean, brand new Ziploc bag individually, and I'm going to hand you a mask if you don't already have one when you get here. I'm going to just ask really nicely that you use that clean Ziploc bag when you get back to your car or your house and either disinfect the mask or slip it back in the bag, and maybe put it on your dashboard in the sun to be disinfected as much as possible. And then bring it with you back to your next hair appointment. That's sort of how I've decided we can make disposable single-use products a little bit more responsible and also just be safer when we're around each other having our hair done. I'm going to be wearing goggles. I am going to be blow drying minimally. If you're sitting in front of me, breathing, and then I'm blow drying your hair, I'm essentially blow drying everything into my own face. And again, my worst nightmare is if I inadvertently gave someone COVID. So if I can avoid getting COVID, I can probably avoid giving everyone COVID, but that means ridiculous looking PPE and some just more awareness and better infection control procedures. And that's just what we're going to deal with until the end of this pandemic, which hopefully is sooner rather than later, but nobody can tell the future, unfortunately. I'm now fairly certain that this parting is not a straight line. I have a little bit of feedback because Anna's filming this, but doesn't feel straight. And I'm not super worried about it. Nobody will see this because it's not color, but also if it was color, nobody would see underneath all of this hair that's just going to live right on top of this little possibly crooked section. I think that might be enough. Again, I'm not coloring my hair. So once you're done applying this color, now you start your time. These instructions are pretty funny. They have like a 25 to 35 minute processing time. I will give you a processing time that is specific to your hair and the color that we're using and your resistant gray or not. So whether you have this kit or not, or another kit, I will provide you with a processing time. I'm gonna say 35 minutes is a pretty general, it's pretty popular processing time. So it's 3 o'clock. At 3:35, I am just gonna take off my clothes and jump in the shower, and I'm going to shampoo my hair, but I do want to show you first, maybe I should back up a little bit. These hairs are going to start sticking out. You can see these. They're going to start sticking out of the color. I either didn't get them, or because they're more coarse, they are bouncing up out of the color. So before you start your processing time, you can just go around, tap these little hairs back into the color. I don't have a lot of really dark haired clients. For those of you that are darker than a level, I want to say 5 or 6, the color will stain a little bit, but I'm going to show you my trick to getting that off. So once your timer goes off, it's been 35 minutes and you're getting ready to get in the shower, the best way to remove this product from your skin and on your hairline is to, with your gloved fingers, don't take these off and throw them away because you're going to need them. Just rinse them off, pick them off, set them on the sink, do your thing, and then when you're ready to wash this off, put your gloves back on. One, because when you're shampooing, your fingertips and your nails are going to absorb some of this hair color. It's very pretty looking like a mechanic after you've just gotten out of the shower. Use your fingertips to massage this line on your face. It feels weird because it's like, it's all processed and it's dark, and it might seem like you're going to rub it, you're going to bring this line and drag it down onto your face. I swear, this is how we get color off of skin. So, use the color to remove the color as much as possible from your skin. You're not going to have much of an issue with this unless, like I said, you're a level 5 or lower, and a lot of you are not. So, just rub it. It feels really good. Rub it until you can kind of see through the color and that you've, sort of blended out that line. And then shampoo with your gloves on. Then you can take your gloves off, condition your hair, and call me if you have any trouble whatsoever. See you guys as soon as I can see you. Thank you for your support and your time and watching this video, and I'll fix whatever you didn't get when I see you back in the salon, hopefully soon. Bye!